Hello, welcome to ICFP Live. Today we are kicking off with a section on the 120 under 40, the new generation of family planning leaders. Big round of applause for all of us. They're not all here. 3 of us are here. I'm June Lau. I'm a sex educator from Malaysia, and I'm currently doing a PhD at Kyoto University in Japan. I won 120 under 40 in 2019. And with me today is Joshua Dilawar from Pakistan. He won in 2017. And Aisha Waziri from Nigeria, who also won in 2017. Now, Joshua, Aisha, why don't you kick off by saying a few words about what you do and how life has been since winning?
Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Aisha Waziri, like she rightly said. I am from Nigeria, and I am a global family planning champion. And I believe that women and girls should have access to family planning because it gives them the opportunity to reach their maximum potentials in life. And with family planning, I believe that girls can be anything they want to be. Thank you.
I don't. So, hi everyone. So my name is Joshua Dilawar and I'm from Pakistan. I'm 120 to 40 young leader from 2017 batch, and I'm running a youth-led organization in Pakistan. It's Institute for Social and Youth Development, and I'm also leading a social enterprises Artivism Academy. So yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so very much.
Okay, I see a few confused faces in the audience. What is 120 under 40? What's this about? This is an award that was organized by the Bill and Melinda Gates Institute for Population and Reproductive Health, an absolute mouthful. And it was sponsored by Bayer, and it provides recognition to individuals who have made significant contributions to the field of family planning, mainly those under 40. This could be in terms of advocacy, research, program implementation, etc. So the big idea is to highlight what they've done so that others can support them or emulate them. So we recognize that family planning is critical to young people's well-being and to the sustainable global development, which is why we want to support those who are making the biggest impact in the field. So I guess let me start with you, Joshua, and then we'll come back to talking about myself again. What's happened since you've won 120 under 40? How has it changed your life or your work?
Yeah, so I got a very funny story about winning the 120 to 40 young leader. Okay, so I became the 120 to 40 young leader back in 2017. And when I applied, I was basically having 0%, expectation that I will be selected and I'll be the winner. And when I got the email, and I was so, first of all, I was just literally dancing that I became the 120 to 40 young leader. But we got like confidential email that do not announce it. And we will be announce it after 4 days. So those 4 days was quite confusing for me, that I'll get another email, Joshua, sorry, that wasn't you, that was another Joshua.
I totally get it. When I get emails like that, I'm like, did they send it to the wrong address? And I'm checking every alphabet.
Yeah. So that's how it started, and it contributed a lot in my personal life. This was the international award and recognition I received back in 2017, and after that, you won't believe, I started receiving international recognitions and all that, and it basically changed my life, like with the 360-degree, turnover. So after that, I became the women level young leader, and I got connections at international and national level. So it really contributed at a very positive side of my life, and after that, I also came to know, and in 2019, then we went to Global Health Leadership Accelerator in US, and it was also a part of 120 to 40. So somehow it contributed in my personal grooming as well as establishing my own youth-led organization in Pakistan. So like I have quite a great experience with being a 120 to 40 young leader.
Yeah, superb. I can totally relate. I think mainly it opened up opportunities for us. It made people pay attention to the work that we're doing. And I think working in family planning as a young person without a lot of resources, it can feel very lonely. That's the main thing, right? Lonely, and sometimes you get frustrated. You feel like nobody's paying attention to what you're doing and it's all pointless. And that's what makes a lot of people give up. I think they all drop like flies. For those of us who are still around, I think we're sadists. For me, it opened up mainly opportunities to showcase my expertise. In 2020, I won the Ingenuity Fund, where I won a grant to create interesting things for social media in terms of sex education, family planning, catered to the pandemic. And with that grant, I was also able to create an online sex education curriculum, which I'm able to teach to this day. So I'm very grateful for the opportunities that have been presented to me since I've won. Aisha, would you like to say a few words about how it's impacted you personally?
Yeah. So for me, what 120 under 40 awards did for me was really to give me that platform at the national level, at the international level. Because for me, the family planning work I was doing was mainly in Kaduna, and Kaduna was a state in northern Nigeria. It wasn't like in the capital city of Nigeria in Abuja. And even in Kaduna, I was working in really very small communities. So for me, it was a time where I saw my work being out there, and finally it is being recognized. And it was also a period where many people invested in the family planning work I do and saw it as an important area. And also, many people realize that for girls to be able to achieve their maximum potentials, family planning is crucial. So 120 under 40 was that platform that brought me out. So I will always be grateful for that.
Yeah, and some people probably wondering like, how did word get out about this 120 under 40? How come I still have to explain this? Well, actually, the media picked up on it, and in my case, there was a lot of media attention back home. Oh, one of our children has made an impact on the world stage, and it made a lot of people talk about family planning. And I'm from Malaysia, where it's still not a comfortable topic to talk about, but it normalized these conversations, and I think. Did that happen in Pakistan as well, Joshua? At least within the family planning circles.
So yes, in Pakistan, like such topics are still taboo and stigmatized. We cannot talk about such topics openly, but that's how we started working on it. And because I think that if we don't talk about it, the things will be same forever, right? If you want to normalize education, if you want to normalize talking about sexual and reproductive health and rights, if you want to talk about, if you want to normalize the talking about family planning, we have to talk about it, right? If we will say, let's change the topic, let's not to talk about it, things will be same as it is, right? So even in Pakistan, things are quite difficult to talk about. Even in schools, we don't have such curriculum education where people can get the adequate education from schools, educational system. So somehow civil society and some of the organizations in Pakistan, including myself, who are trying actively to support young people, adolescents, to know about their health, and so that they can make informed and informed decisions in their life. So yeah. But somehow, we are trying our best, to break the stereotypes, to bust myths and all that. Because if we don't change behaviors of young people, particularly, they won't, get the services. So it's both sides. So we have to, engage community as well as the service providers as well. So yeah.
So everyone says, what's the point? What's the point of these things? A lot of the time, things are funded and they go nowhere. It's very important to think sort of long term, right? And it's important for people to know that when you talk about funding the 120 under 40, we're the cream of the crop, right? We are doing the best work without any support, and you should support us. And how can you support us? That's a big question. Is this just another one of those things that you throw money into and nothing happens? Absolutely not, because we were doing it before you came along, funders. So we have with us some thoughts from the other winners. But first, I'd like to go to Aisha. Aisha, why don't you tell everybody, sort of moving forward, you've been talking to a few of the winners.
Yeah.
What do we hope will happen with 120 under 40? Is it just going to be one of those things that people forget about after this segment? I hope not.
No.
So please
They
tell
better
us.
not forget about us. Okay, so now we have the 120, like the cohort is complete. So it was 40, 40, 40. So now 120 under 40 is exhausted. We are now the 120 all over the world. So we're thinking, now that we are complete and there will be no applications that will be out to have more people to apply to be 120 under 40. We have been talking with the other members of the 120 under 40 platform. Where do we see ourselves? What kind of investment can all of you make in 120 under 40 to keep it burning, to keep it going? So we believe that funders, donors, and anyone who has money and is interested, yeah, you should invest. 120 under 40 winners should have opportunities to have their MPH and PhDs at Hopkins. That will be a great capacity building for 120 under 40. Beyond that, we should also have opportunity to go for exchange programs in institutions, that work on family planning for many years, for decades. I mean, have made big impacts. Imagine a 120 under 40 being an exchange student at the Gates Institute and getting to work with OIN for 6 weeks. That's like getting a PhD in 6 weeks. What you will learn from OIN in 6 weeks, you won't learn them maybe in a PhD class for 5 years.
Yeah.
We also believe that the 120 under 40 platform should be localized in our regions, but that won't be possible until we have funding, so that we can mentor and coach other young people in our regions and even at the international levels to be able to also become global family planning champion. In
Aisha,
addition,
just to pause you there, sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to add one thing, which is I think a lot of winners think the same way.
Yeah.
And actually, some of them have proposed that we have a global meeting, because it's very important to remember that the 120 under 40 network is a global network. If we
Exactly.
simplify that, if you want to do family planning, if you want to support family planning, you have a champion in many, many countries now. You have people that are on the ground working with the young people directly. So it's a very effective platform, really.
Yeah, we should definitely be supported to have a global meeting, an international convening, where all 120 of us can be together to share learnings, best practices, opportunities for other young people to feel inspired, motivated to continue their family planning journey. Joshua can attest, and the many other family planning champions that are in this room that are 120. When we started, we were doing with our little money. Nobody was recognizing us, We were just making little impact. But look at us today where we are. Through 120 under 40, many of us have gotten really opportunities that money, family name may not buy them. So we believe this international convening for all of us will be an opportunity for other young people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look at me now, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. So 120 into 40 has contributed in our life very, very, very positively, right? So like last year, I won the Ingenuity Fund from the Gates Institute, and you know what? For the very first time in Pakistan, I initiated a project focusing the deaf community and in the nexus of SRHR and family planning. No one has ever worked in Pakistan, even the civil society, even the government, with the deaf community on their reproductive health and rights and family planning. So that was 120 into 40 who supported me, and just because of that, I initiated this project. And this year, I implemented the project with the support of Gates Institute, partially funded by Pathfinder and UNFPA. So I like, this is the contribution and impact we are making. So this is quite a creative project in Pakistan. I initiated with the deaf community, and also a comic book and animated videos and community session and storytelling session. So I think this is just a start for all the 120 to 40 young leaders, and we are just starting the momentum in the world, right? And we are accelerating the family planning moment in Pakistan and SRHR moment in Pakistan. We really want to continue the moment and all that. Yeah.
June, I wanted to add that 120 under 40s are also open and excited to do internships in organizations that are willing to give us an opportunity to intern with you. We have a big network of 120 champions who will bring you ideas from all over the world. For best practices.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm being told that we have to wrap up the session. There's so many ideas floating around. Truly, you have no shortage of creativity from this cohort. I want to thank you all for joining us today, and I want to invite you to get in touch with us. Just go to 120under40.org. Write us, write to me, write to Joshua, Aisha personally if you prefer. Thank you very much again for your time, and hope to see you again soon.
Thank you so much.